Now, I would say this is one of my most requested videos, but this is a new channel. So what I will say is, in real life, this is one of the questions that people ask me the most. What do I need to know when I'm going to look for a venue? What should I ask the venue owner, and what things should I be looking for in the right venue for my event? Hey guys, welcome back to the Experience Lab. I'm Joanna, your Experience Navigator, and on this channel I share practical tips for memorable brand experiences. Now, as I'm sure you've noticed, this channel is more so geared towards small businesses and brands that are looking to create marketing events. But this topic is something that people ask me about, stretching across my personal and professional networks. So if you came here with a personal event in mind, like a baby shower, a wedding, or something of that nature, take what resonates and leave the rest, and make sure that you refer this video or come back to this channel in the future. One of the first things that you think about when you're thinking about putting on an event is where you're going to have that event. What type of venue are you looking for? What type of environment do you want to be in? And so on and so forth. In this video, I want to give you 7 things that I think you absolutely need to ask before you sign your venue contract. So let's get into it. The first thing you want to ask is, what does your venue fee include? Do you get furniture with the venue? Do you get access to all of their amenities? Is there a back of house area? Is there a kitchen area? All of those things are things that you need to know so that you can plan your budget accordingly. If you walk into a space and you see that it's already decorated, but the fine print is that that stuff doesn't come with the venue or that it's an upcharge, you're going to want to know that ahead of time. One of the things that venue owners do is showcase photos of their venue fully decorated, and a lot of times you can get those decorations, but they do charge extra. So you want to know upfront if the things that they're advertising are an extra fee or if you actually get them with your day rental. Which brings me to my second point. What is a day rental? When you pay your venue fee, are you actually getting the venue from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.? Do you get it from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.? How many hours does your venue consider a day? And then what is the additional charge if you need extra time? Another thing that you absolutely need to know is whether or not your venue has contracts or relationships with preferred vendors. What this means is, if you have a preferred caterer in mind, but they have a caterer that you must use if you book their venue, then the person that you're thinking of can't come in and use their own food. The same thing goes for DJs, for lighting equipment, for decor. Sometimes a venue will have a very specific relationship with a furniture rental company, and so they won't allow you to bring in furniture from any other company. Those are things that you want to ask upfront, especially if you have special caterers in mind or anything like that. And a quick side note, if you have your family or friends preparing food or drinks, make sure that you know upfront whether or not the venue requires them to have insurance, which most times they do, or if they need them to have a catering license or some sort of food handling certificate on the premises. There are also some places that have noise restrictions. Depending on the neighborhood, there are some places that won't allow you to play loud music after a certain time of night. This is something that you want to know ahead of time, because if you are just getting started at 9:30, 10 o'clock and the music is pumping and then the venue owner comes and asks you to turn it down, your party is pretty much over. You want to make sure that you have the clearance to play music past that time, at that time, and at a certain volume. Another really important thing to look out for is staffing requirements. There are a lot of venues that make you have 1 or 2 of their staff members per 50 to 100 people. So check your contract for that, or ask upfront if they require any of their staff to be on site while you have access to the venue. The 6th thing to look out for is an alcohol policy. A lot of places will charge you what's called a corkage fee, which means you might be able to bring your own alcohol, but they will charge you a small fee per every bottle that you open. So before you go out and buy alcohol in bulk, you definitely want to make sure that that is allowed. And this also ties into whether or not your venue has preferred vendors, because if you can't bring your own alcohol, can you hire your own caterer, or do they have someone in mind that you have to order from? And finally, the last thing, which is so overlooked but super important, ask up front if you can stick things to the floors and walls. And aside from that is, do they allow candles with open flames? And if so, are there any restrictions on the types of candles that are allowed? Also, does your venue allow confetti? A lot of times it's really difficult to clean up once it's all over the floor, so sometimes they'll say that's not even allowed. So if you plan on sticking anything to the walls or sticking anything to the floors, even if it's just carpet tape underneath a red carpet that you rented or purchased to make sure that it doesn't roll up in the corners, you want to make sure that you have clearance to use adhesive on their surfaces and that they're not going to charge you some sort of damage fee at the end. And really, the list goes on and on and on. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments and I will do my best to get back to as many people as possible. But now you at least have 7 things to get the conversation started so that you can read through the contracts and the venue policies before giving over your money. If you're enjoying these practical tips, I would love if you consider subscribing. Until the next time, I'm Joanna, this is the Experience Lab, and I will catch you in the next one.